What's up, Zeal? My name is Heather. I'm the 7th and 8th grade girls Zeal group leader, and this is Zeal News. Ding!
Hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Hey, hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time.
I hope you guys are enjoying your break from school. I know I am, but I just want to remind you that Zeal groups start back on January 10th, and you're going to want to make sure that you're there. If you're not involved in a Zeal group, DM the Zeal Instagram, and we'll give you all the information that you need. Our next Zeal Night is January 31st. Make sure you're there because we're already planning it and it's gonna be awesome. Lastly, I want to invite all of you to come to the 21 days of prayer and fasting. We're going to sit at the front as a Zeal family and start our year off right.
Headline, hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Hey, hammer time.
What's up, Zeal? Merry Christmas. Listen, this month we're not having Zeal Night because it falls in between Christmas and New Year's, but I did want to take just a couple of minutes and talk to you out of the book of John and hopefully encourage you right where you're at. How many of you guys remember show and tell? If some of you guys remember show and tell, I know when I was a kid, show and tell was like the big thing that we got excited for. I brought all kinds of stuff, man. I brought iguanas, I had a ferret, I brought all kinds of stuff. My favorite basketball. It was just something that I wanted the class to see so that they could see what it was like to actually live my life personally, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. It gave them a glimpse into who I was. Now listen, here in the book of John, chapter 20, there's a part where this guy by the name of Thomas, this guy that we make fun of a lot, we talk down a lot of times we think of him as doubting Thomas. But there's a part where Jesus actually comes and talks to Thomas. And I just want to dive in really quick and let you kind of see what the story says. Check this out. And it says, "Now Thomas, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came." Jesus had already rose from the dead, and he was making these like commercial appearances to the disciples. And so Jesus shows up, but Thomas isn't there. And check out what happens. It says, "The other 12 disciples told Thomas," they said, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Listen, unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." Be careful what you ask for. Because a week later, it says that the disciples were in the house again, and Thomas this time was with them. Listen to what it says. It says, "Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, 'Peace be with you.' And then he said to Thomas directly, he said, 'Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe.' And Thomas looked at Jesus and he said this. He said, 'My Lord and my God.'" I want you to get this picture. Here is Thomas who is struggling in his faith. And he's asking just for a sign to believe. And the sign doesn't come like it did for the wise men in the sign of a star or anything like that. It actually came in the form of a person. His name was Jesus. And Jesus shows up to Thomas and he says, "Thomas, you're doubting, but I want to show you the scars in my hand, the scars in my side, so that you would begin to believe." Take note in this, Jesus' scars marked his glory. They were the very thing Thomas needed to see in order for Thomas to build his faith. Here's my question for you, Zeal. What if your scars and the very things that you have struggled with are the very vehicle that God is going to use in order to bring others to come to know him? What if your scars pointed to Jesus himself? And what if your scars marked his glory? Listen, what if the scars of 2017 were the vehicle that God was going to use in 2018 for someone to come to know Christ? He makes all things work together for good. Here we are a couple days away from New Year's Eve. And maybe 2017 has been a hard year for you. I want you to begin to take courage and be excited that a new year is coming. And he's going to take all of the things that you've gone through in 2017, and he's going to use them for his glory and for his good. So this year, as you step into 2018, I want you to step in there with fresh eyes and beginning to ask God, "Okay, God, clearly this pain had a purpose. Will you help me use it as my testimony so that others could come to know you?" Listen, Elena and I love you guys, and we believe in you. And we're so excited for what God is going to do in 2018. Let's step into this year strong. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I love you. I'm out.